Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Common English Decoded. I am so happy you are here with us today. Whether you are watching from home, on the bus, or at the gym, I love that you keep coming back to learn with us.
Hey! Welcome, welcome. It is always such a good feeling to start a new episode. I was just telling Speaker 1 before we started recording. I had the most interesting conversation this week, and it made me think about today's topic so much.
Oh, I know exactly what you are talking about. You were trying to explain something to a friend, and you used the wrong word, right?
Exactly. I said, I listened a strange noise last night, and my friend just gave me this look. You know that look, the confused face. And I thought, okay, we need to make an episode about this.
And that is exactly why we are here today. Because today we are talking about two words that English learners mix up all the time: hear and listen. These two words both have something to do with sound and your ears, but they are actually very different.
That's right. By the end of this episode, you are going to know exactly when to use hear and when to use listen. You will feel so much more confident in conversations, and honestly, your English will sound so much more natural.
And we want to hear from you. Yes, hear. We will talk about that word more soon. But right now, in the comments, tell us, do you sometimes confuse hear and listen? Write it down below. We love reading every single one of your comments.
And while you are down there, please hit that subscribe button for Common English Decoded. We post new episodes every week, and you do not want to miss them. Okay, are we ready? Let's dive in.
All right, so let's start with the first word, hear. And I want you to think about something. Have you ever been sitting in a cafe, not paying attention, and then suddenly, boom, you catch part of someone else's conversation? You were not trying to, it just happened. That is hear.
Yes, that is the key idea. Hear is passive. It is automatic. It happens without you trying. Your ears just pick up sound. You do not choose it. The formula is simple. Subject plus hear plus object. For example, I hear music. She heard a loud noise. We heard someone laughing outside.
Let me give you some everyday examples. You are sleeping at night and a car alarm goes off outside. You did not choose to wake up. Your ears just caught that sound. So you say, I heard a car alarm last night. You are not paying attention and your name gets called from across the room. I heard my name. You are watching TV and your phone rings in the other room. Did you hear that?
Notice that in all of these situations, there is no effort, no concentration. Sound just reaches your ears. Here is another one. Can you hear me? That is a very common question, especially on phone calls or video chats. You are asking, is the sound reaching the other person's ears? Are they physically receiving the audio?
Exactly. And think about the negative form. I can't hear you. That means the sound is not reaching me. Maybe you are too far away. Maybe there is background noise. I couldn't hear anything. Nothing reached my ears. Very natural and very common.
Here is a practice moment for you. Pause the video right now and look around. What sounds are you passively receiving right now without any effort? Traffic? Air conditioning? Someone talking in the next room? Write it in the comments. Write, I can hear, and finish the sentence.
We love doing these exercises because it connects grammar to your real life. Right now, in this moment. And that is how language really sticks. One more important thing about hear. We often use it with can or could. Can you hear that? I could hear them arguing. This is because hear describes a state, something that is happening to you. And state verbs in English love to use can.
Great point. So, to summarize this section, hear is automatic, passive, no effort required. Sound reaches your ears whether you want it to or not. You hear a noise. You hear your name. You hear music playing. Now let's move to the exciting one. Listen.
Okay, so now we have listen. And this one is all about choice and focus. When you listen, you are making a decision. You are putting your attention on a sound on purpose. You are being active. And this is the big difference from hear. Listen equals effort, focus, intention. Hear equals automatic. No effort, it just happens.
The structure for listen is a little different from hear. We say subject plus listen plus to plus object. The to is really important. I listen to music. She listens to podcasts. They were listening to the teacher. You have to include to when there is an object. A very common mistake is to say, I listen music. No, it is, I listen to music.
I actually made this mistake for years. I used to say I listened to the radio, and it always felt slightly wrong, but I did not know why. The to is always there. Let me give you some real-life situations. You sit down with headphones, you press play, and you really focus on a song. You are listening to music. You are in class, and the teacher is explaining something important. You are listening to your teacher. You call your friend, and they start telling you about their day. You are listening to them.
Now here is a great way to feel the difference. Imagine you are cooking dinner. Music is playing in the background. You are not really focusing on it. It is just there. In that moment, you are hearing the music. But then your favorite song comes on, and you stop what you are doing. You turn up the volume, and you focus on every word. Now you are listening to the music.
Oh, I love that example. Same song, same ears, but totally different verbs depending on your level of attention. Now, listen can also be used without an object, especially as a command or an invitation. Listen. That means pay attention right now. Listen, I have something important to tell you. In these cases, no to is needed because there is no object.
Let's talk about formality for a second. First, in casual conversation, we say, listen up to get someone's attention. Very informal, very direct. Second, in polite or professional settings, you might say, could you please listen carefully? Third, in commands, just listen works perfectly. A teacher, a parent, a manager might say this.
Here is a fun practice idea. Write a sentence in the comments using listen to. Tell us what you love listening to. Is it music, podcasts, audiobooks? Write, I love listening to, and finish it. We want to know.
And honestly, thinking about what you enjoy listening to is a great way to practice English too. So many great podcasts, playlists, and audiobooks out there in English. All right, let's quickly review. Listen is active, intentional, and focused. You choose to do it. And remember, listen plus to plus object. Got it? Great. Let's keep going.
Now here is where things get really interesting, because sometimes we use hear and listen in the same situation, and the meaning changes completely depending on which word you choose. This is the stuff that makes your English go from good to great.
Let me give you a classic example. Imagine a couple. The partner is talking about their day, explaining something important. The other person is looking at their phone, nodding sometimes, but not really paying attention. What is happening? They are hearing the words, the sound is reaching their ears, but they are not listening. They are not focused. They are not engaged. And that is why, in relationships, people often say, "You never listen to me." Not, you never hear me, because hearing is automatic, but listening requires choice.
That example just hit close to home for a lot of us, I think. Here's another great context: music and concerts. If you go to a concert and you are just there, maybe checking your phone, maybe talking to a friend, you are hearing the music. But if you close your eyes and you are really absorbing every note, every lyric, you are listening to the music. Same room, same band, totally different experience.
Now let's look at some practical, everyday situations you will actually use. Situation 1. You are in an office and there is a TV on in the background showing news. You are not focused on it, you are hearing it. But then something important comes on and you stop your work and pay full attention. Now you are listening to it. Situation 2. You are on the phone with a customer service agent. They are explaining your options. If you are really focused and trying to understand, you are listening. If the call is on speaker while you make lunch, you might just be hearing.
And here's a tip for politeness. If you want to show someone you are paying attention, you say, "I'm listening." That phrase shows respect and engagement. It says, "I am here, I am focused, I care about what you are saying." If you just say, "I hear you," it can sometimes mean, "Okay, I got it," in a very minimal way, like you receive the information, but you are not necessarily agreeing or deeply engaged.
Actually, "I hear you" has a very interesting second meaning in casual American English. It can mean, "I understand your feelings," or "I get where you're coming from." Like, "I'm frustrated with this project," and your friend says, "I hear you." That means, "I understand, I relate." Very warm, very empathetic.
Okay, let's do a mini practice right now. I am going to say a situation and you say the correct verb out loud: hear or listen. Ready? You are walking down the street and a dog barks from behind a fence. Which verb?
That one is hear. Totally automatic. You did not choose it. Now your turn. You put on your favorite podcast with headphones before bed. Which verb?
Listen to. You chose it. You are focused. One more. You are in a meeting and someone is presenting, but you are daydreaming about lunch. Which verb?
Technically, you are hearing. You are not listening. We have all been there. Try to catch yourself this week. Are you hearing or are you listening? That awareness will really improve your English and maybe your relationships too.
All right, let's talk about mistakes. And I want to say right away, mistakes are how we learn. Every single person who speaks English fluently made these exact mistakes at some point. So do not be embarrassed. Let's just fix them together.
Mistake number 1, and this is the big one, missing the to after listen. People say, "I listen music every morning." Wrong. It should be, "I listen to music every morning." Listen needs to before its object, always. I listen to podcasts. She listens to her teacher. We listened to the whole album.
Why does this happen? Because in many languages, there is no preposition needed after the equivalent of listen, so it feels unnecessary. But in English, to is always there when you have an object after listen. Think of listen to as one unit, one verb phrase, not two separate words.
Mistake number 2, using listen when you mean hear. For example, "I listened a strange noise last night." That is what happened to me this week. The correct sentence is, "I heard a strange noise last night." You did not choose to hear it. It happened automatically. So, hear is correct.
Here is a funny one. Imagine someone saying, "I was listening to the rain while I was sleeping." Were you really focusing on the rain with full attention while you were asleep? Probably not. The natural sentence is, "I could hear the rain while I was trying to sleep." Much more natural.
Mistake number 3. Forgetting can with hear in the present. People sometimes say, "I hear you," and this can be correct in some contexts. But if you are asking about someone's ability to receive sound right now, like on a phone call, you need can. Can you hear me? Not, do you hear me? Although that one exists too, but can you hear me is more natural and more common in everyday speech.
Mistake number 4. This one is subtle. Using hear when you want to show active listening. For example, imagine your friend is sharing something emotional and you say, yeah, I hear you." It is not technically wrong, but it might sound dismissive. If you want to show deep engagement, say, "I'm listening," or "I'm really listening to you." That small change makes you sound much more caring and present.
And here is a practice prompt for each mistake. For mistake 1, write in the comments, "Every day I listen to," and finish the sentence. For mistake 2, write, "Yesterday I heard," and describe a sound you noticed. We will be reading your comments, so please write them out.
Mistakes are your stepping stones. Every wrong sentence teaches you something. The fact that you are here, watching and learning, that already puts you miles ahead. You are doing amazing.
Absolutely. And the more you practice, the more natural these verbs will feel. You will not even have to think about it. It will just come out right. Now, let's do some interactive practice.
Okay, this is one of my favorite parts, the choose the correct sentence activity. I am going to give you 2 options and you think about which one sounds correct. Say it out loud if you can. Speaking out loud is one of the best ways to train your English ear and mouth at the same time.
Situation 1. You are sleeping and your neighbor starts playing loud music at midnight. Option A. I listened to loud music last night. Option B. I heard loud music last night. Which one?
Option B. I heard loud music last night. You did not choose to listen to your neighbor's music. It reached your ears automatically. Very annoying, but very good grammar.
Situation 2. You are studying for an English exam and you put on a recording of native speakers talking. You play it twice because you want to understand every word. Option A. I listened to the recording carefully. Option B. I heard the recording carefully.
Option A. I listened to the recording carefully. The word carefully already tells you this is active and intentional. Listen to is perfect here.
Situation 3. Your friend is upset and telling you about a problem. You want to show them you are fully present. Which is better, saying, "I hear you," or "I'm listening"?
Both can work, but "I'm listening" is warmer and more engaged. It says, "My full attention is on you right now." Use it when you want to really connect with someone.
Situation 4. You are at a noisy party and your friend is trying to tell you something, but there is too much background noise. Option A. I can't listen to you. It's too loud. Option B. I can't hear you. It's too loud.
Option B. I can't hear you. The sound physically cannot reach your ears because of the noise. This is automatic reception, so hear is the correct verb here.
Now here is a challenge. Can you create your own sentence using both hear and listen in the same sentence? Something like, I could hear the music, but I wasn't really listening to it. That is a beautiful, natural sentence. Write your version in the comments.
And do not worry about being perfect. A sentence that is 80% correct but said out loud is worth 10 perfect sentences that stay in your head. Speak, write, try. That is how English becomes yours.
Real conversation beats perfect grammar every single time. You are not here to be a textbook. You are here to communicate. And you are already doing it.
Wow, I cannot believe how much we covered today. I love this episode. We really broke down two words that seem simple on the surface, but actually have a beautiful difference when you understand them.
Let's do a quick recap of what we learned today. First, hear is passive. It is automatic. Sound reaches your ears without any effort or intention. Second, listen is active. You choose to focus on a sound. And remember, always use to after listen when you have an object. Listen to music. Listen to your teacher. Third, the difference often comes down to attention and intention. Same sound, same ears, but your mental engagement determines which word you use.
And those subtleties, that is what makes English so rich and so interesting. When you understand the difference between hear and listen, you are not just learning vocabulary. You are learning how English speakers think about attention, effort, and experience.
Here is a reflective question for you to think about, or even write about in the comments. When was the last time someone really listened to you? Not just heard you, but truly listened. And when was the last time you did that for someone else?
I love that question. Language learning is not just about words, it is about connection. And today, you got one step closer to connecting more naturally in English. So here is what we want you to do right now. If this episode helped you, please give it a like. It really helps our channel grow. Share it with a friend who is learning English. And most importantly, subscribe to Common English Decoded so you never miss an episode. We are here every week with new topics, new practice, and a lot of fun.
And write us a comment. Tell us, what is one sound you can hear right now? And what is something you love to listen to? We genuinely read your comments, and they make our day. You are part of this community, and we are so glad you are here.
We will be back very soon with another episode of Common English Decoded. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, every single word you learn is a door opening to a new connection.
You are doing so well. We are cheering for you every step of the way. Take care of yourselves, keep going, and we will see you next time.